Hi, folks. Welcome to Crisco's Corner. Hi, folks. Welcome back. Boy, this is great news. Great news from Fox News. Florida's registered Republican voters outnumbered Democrats by over 100,000 for the first time. Yeah. Pretty good. Pretty good. And to all the Democrats in Florida, you get this. Yeah. It's interesting because there's always been that take, and I'm seriously considering moving to Tennessee. I live in upstate New York. There's always that take that as these people leave the deep, deep blue states, i.e. California, New York, Illinois, and such, in the Northeast in general, that as they move south and west, that they're bringing their liberal tendencies with them. Now, that's partially true, but I wonder if that's really the case. We'll have to see. It doesn't look like it, especially in Florida. But let's read on. First on Fox, a red wave is brewing in Florida as registered Republican voters now outnumber Democrats by over 100,000 for the first time in the state's history, according to data obtained by Fox News Digital. At the end of 2021, Florida's GOP voter registration numbers officially overtook the state Democrat Party, giving Republicans a lead in a state steadily shifting red. Now, if you have to remember, those of you a little bit older, the last few presidential election cycles, we won't count 2020 because of the COVID and all that, and it's just the rules are all screwy. We'll go prior to that to get an actual idea. Florida was always the state that had a gigantic cluster blank. You remember the Gore v. Bush went to the Supreme Court and the hanging chads and all that crap. You remember that? Florida was the worst at counting their votes. And they've cleaned up their act. In fact, election night, they had all their votes counted the last several election cycles. So they've had quite a turnaround. So you can do it if you really want to. By the end of 2021, Georgia's voter registration numbers officially eclipsed Republicans. Now, Republicans in Florida outnumber Democrats for the first time by over 100,000 in both new registrants and party switches. Now, that's a big deal. Party switches. We're going to say, well, John, you know, people that switch, well, people that move, say, from say you're even a moderate or slightly conservative person coming from New York, Illinois, or California, Oregon, Washington State, and you switch and move to a more free area, I'll just be straight and say it's a lot freer area, you're going to switch parties, which means you're dug in. You gave up on the Democrats and won't probably come back. It'd be maybe an extraordinary, maybe a local race that you know the person personally might vote Democrat, but they're done. Once you switch parties, especially if you're over 30, you're pretty much locked in for the rest of your life. And that's very, very good news for Republicans. These are according to internal numbers from Governor Ron DeSantis' reelection campaign, exclusively obtained by Fox News Digital. Yeah. Unbelievable. I love this, though. Disney has been outspoken in DeSantis' parental rights bill, but silent on Uyghur genocide. Hell, go figure, huh? Disney, China, money, cha-ching. A spokesman for DeSantis' campaign told Fox News Digital that the surge in Republican voters broke 101,000 as of Tuesday morning. This is great. This is great. I like DeSantis a lot. I don't like him over Trump in a presidential election in this cycle. But for the next cycle, oh boy, I got to tell you, honestly, if it doesn't take that many, 2-3 million people get over their absolute hatred for Donald Trump, even if they have to hold their nose to vote for him if he runs in 2024, that's enough. 4 more years with Trump, and we'll have a Republican House of Representatives. We'll have a small majority, when I say we, I mean conservative people in the Senate. And then 1 term with Trump, 1 more, and then 2 terms with Ron DeSantis. That would be my dream. And Ron DeSantis being the vice president. Now, will he leave Florida in order to become the vice president? Will he even be asked? Who knows? But it's fun for us political junkies to talk about. There's no beating around the fact that historic gain is because of Governor Ron DeSantis. Florida Republican Party executive Helena Ferre said in a statement to Fox News Digital. Florida voters are appreciative of the palpable sense of freedom he has created in our state. Just common sense. I remember I saw the video, a week or 2 ago, where there's a bunch of high school kids standing behind him with masks on. He walked up to the podium and he turned around and goes, guys, come on. You know, you don't have to wear the mask if you don't want to. You can if you want. I don't care, but it's just ridiculous that you have to wear a mask. This is nonsense. And kids looked at each other and they took their masks off. It's about individual rights. If you want to wear a mask, God bless you. Who cares? Nobody cares. What gets me, though, is you drive down the street and you see people in a car by themselves with their mask on. It's like you shake your head in awe and wonder at it all that they got this far in life. But I digress. Unemployment is lower than the national average in Florida. Schools are open. There are no lockdowns and there are no masks. Voters recognize the governor as a champion for families and businesses alike. Now, this new bill that the moron progressives call Don't Say Gay bill, which I don't even want to say it out loud, has nothing to do with it. In fact, it's all watered down. I don't think it's that strong. It's just common sense that you wouldn't talk about sex with somebody up until the 3rd grade, for Pete's sake. They're 9, 10 years old. I don't know anything about sex than a man on the moon. Our voter registration numbers are impressive, but at 363 net change, that is unprecedented, and that's since 2018. That's a lot. A senior advisor to the DeSantis re-election campaign told Fox Digital that registered Republicans in Florida have increased by 363,000 since 2018, when DeSantis took power in the state. And if you remember, DeSantis just squeaked by, what was it, like 20,000 votes in a state that big? Yeah, I even forgot the guy's name now. The gentleman, he ended up in a hotel room with a whole bunch of illegal drugs and all kinds of XCX weird stuff going on with a bunch of guys, and I don't even want to know. Right after that. Incredible. So Florida dodged a bullet, to be sure. Additionally, the upswing in registered Republican voters have been going on for nearly 2 years, with Republicans outperforming Democrats in new voter registration in 21 of the past 22 months. And there's the opponent for Ron DeSantis this year, Agricultural Commissioner Nikki Fried. I wish you well, Nikki. I just wish you well somewhere else. The Florida Republican voter registration increase continues throughout President Biden's first year in office, you think? By September 2021, Democrats had a lead of nearly 24,000 voters, and Republicans took over the lead by 6,000 voters in November of 21. And they're up to 100,000 now. When I got elected governor, we had 280,000 more registered Democrats than Republicans in the state of Florida, DeSantis said in November 2021. Today will probably be fully publicized very soon. For the first time in the history of Florida, we have overtaken Democrats. There are more Republicans in Florida than Democrats. So 2 things must be happening. As they increase their population from people leaving the so-called blue states and look for better opportunities and more freedom, they're Republicans or independent moderates. And on top of that, maybe Democrats are just finally, when they make the move to Florida, they go, you know what? We're moving for a reason, to get away from progressive Democrats. To heck with it. Let's just change our party registration. And those people are lost to the Democrats forever. Currently, Democrats hold the lead in the county with 589,429 registered voters. This is in Miami-Dade. To Republicans, 426 and change. But it accounts for roughly 162,000 difference. And that's where their big stronghold is. And even that's starting to get chipped away. Several factors could be playing in the shift, including inflation, COVID-19 protocols, several controversial policies like defunding the police, critical race theory, as well as the state's population increase that came about during the pandemic. The Florida Democrat Party did not immediately respond to Fox Digital requests for comment. Yeah, they didn't know what to say. They didn't have their answer all lined up. Additionally, Florida's primary elections are closed. They're closed here in New York. I live in upstate New York, meaning that if there's a Republican primary, only Republicans can vote on it, Democrats and whatever other parties as well. Open primary states means anybody can vote in the primary no matter what party you are. I'm 50-50 on that. I'm not really sure what to think for open or close. I'm a flip a coin guy on that. Mean that any independent who wants to vote in a primary has to register one of the two parties. Each party has over 5 million voters, and Florida's total registered voter count tallies at over 14 million. Independents still remain the fastest growing bloc in the Sunshine State. That tells me, at least my gut says so, those are moderate Democrats like I used to be when I was a city councilman in the early 2000s here in upstate New York. That I was just an old school, moderate, common sense, blue-collar worker Democrat. And they couldn't bring themselves to go to the Republican Party after all the years of being a Democrat, so they just became an independent. All right, I get that. That's fine. But this is very encouraging, very encouraging. Florida is really no longer a swing state. But I'll leave it with this. Ron DeSantis, and whether you want to admit it, you old school Republicans, Donald Trump, taught Republicans how to fight back. Republicans are like, oh, God, don't call me racist. Don't call me names. Just don't call me now. Leave me alone now. You know, I'll do what you want. I won't give you a hard time. Just don't be mean to me. Those days are over. If the Republican Party wants to thrive and survive, you've got to fight back. And when you fight back, they're gonna come after you like they did Ron DeSantis. But he knows obviously how to handle them, and he's doing very well. Old school Republicans, the old neocons, the ones that keep their head down are part of the Uniparty in Congress and in the Senate. In state offices, I might add as well. Take heed. This is the future of the Republican Party. Either get on the train or get the hell out of the way, because the Republicans are fighting back. Finally. Until the next time, goodbye and good luck.